this Barcelona, this Bayern Munich, and now this Manchester City. These three teams have always brought something new to the world of football, and the man behind it is none other than our genius, Pep Guardiola. In Barcelona, it was false nine. At Bayern Munich, it was turning a fullback into a defensive midfielder, and now at Manchester City, a pseudo-defensive midfielder. He's always keen on adapting him and his tactics to the modern football, because this modern football is all about pace, transition and physicality, and that's why nowadays to control the game it's quite difficult. And the great example of it is the recent downfall of Liverpool and the recent defeat of Barcelona to Real Madrid. And that's why defending while attacking to control the transitions is very important nowadays, and Pep Guardiola seems to have found his own way to do that. Their midweek clash against Bayern Munich was a glimpse of what he's trying to do and what a monstrous team he have been building. And the best thing about this Manchester City team is that Pep Guardiola has made a system that suits each and every player, starting with goalkeeper and ending with Haaland. And that's why as an opponent, if you're facing such kind of teams, it's quite frustrating to play against them. So much so that some might have to open their own fight club. Anyway, this City was perfect, or to say close to perfect against Bayern Munich, because Bayern Munich is not an easy opponent to face in Champions League. They may have had problems in Bundesliga this season, but when it came to Champions League, they always have delivered. Bayern Munich went to Manchester having won all of their 8 games in Champions League this season. They kept 6 clean sheets and conceded just twice. But this night, Man City was having none of it, and that's why this defeat was their heaviest defeat in Champions League. And as I said, competing against Bayern isn't easy. They are quite a physical team, and that's why to dominate them, it's not everyone's cup of tea. And that's why you gotta be at your best. You have to give your 100% on the field to dominate them. You gotta dominate each and every phase of the play, starting from the build-up to the final third. And City did exactly that. On the ball, they were brilliant, but when it came to off the ball, when it came to defending, they defended as a unit. They made total of 18 high turnovers in Bayern's field and 15 final third regains. And these are the highest turnovers and regains in Champions League this season. And these are the stats that shows Manchester City's press was brilliant and Bayern Munich was kind of struggling during their build-up phase. Because of the ball, Manchester City set up in a simple 4-4-2 shape with blocking those passing lanes towards their defensive midfielders Goretzka and Joshua Kimmich. And the two people following or kind of man-marking this two defensive midfielder of Bayern Munich were Gundogan and Rodri. And also because if you see the backline of Manchester City, they play with 4 natural centre-backs: Manuel Akanji, Ruben Dias, John Stones and Nathan Ake. And also having 4 centre-backs helps them to control the transitions from the opponent's side. During that build-up phase, they have this kind of numerical superiority: 3 defenders and 2 defensive midfielders, so 5 players. And that's why when opposition is pressing them, due to the numerical advantage of Manchester City into their own half, forces opposition wingers to tuck in to cover their defensive midfielder. And this allows City to find a free player out wide. And then it could be a stretch right centre back or the stretch left centre back. And well, this is the whole aim of this Pep Guardiola system, to find the free player out wide. And that's why in this system, a player like Jack Grealish is becoming so important, because he has that technical qualities to carry the ball forward. So that's why whenever he gets the ball, he will attract 2 or 3 defenders towards him, which will open up spaces. And then Manchester City have this kind of midfielders, Kevin De Bruyne and Gundogan, who knows how to manipulate those half space and attack through them. And also playing with a pseudo-defensive midfielder like John Stones, this allows Rodri to move forward to get closer towards attack. And his goal was a perfect example for it. And apart from this, Pep Guardiola always have that one kind of difference maker. And in this Manchester City team, the difference maker is Erling Haaland. Haaland is on another level, man. Since I made this video, he has been elite. He has been unstoppable, to be honest. Day by day, match by match, his performance is improving. He has started to involve much in the play. Plus, now Pep Guardiola has unlocked his playmaking side. That cross for Silva's goal was inch perfect, and this signs for other Premier League teams are looking quite scary. 1 goal and 1 assist again for him in this game, and he's truly doing the work that he was bought for. You know, making the difference in Champions League. This is the kind of player that Man City was kind of lacking, especially when it came to those Champions League nights. But now they have got Erling Haaland, goals are just flowing like water. He already has scored 11 goals in Champions League this season, and plus he's the first Premier League player in history to score 45 plus goals across all competitions. I mean, that is just crazy fact considering that it is his first season with Manchester City. But anyway, the best thing about Pep Guardiola is that he always finds this kind of lethal player wherever he goes. At Barcelona, it was Messi. At Bayern Munich, it was Robert Lewandowski. And now at Manchester City, he have got Erling Haaland. On the other side for Bayern Munich, well, it's kind of early days for Thomas Tuchel. But still he has found some positives in this game. I don't know what were they, but still he has found it. So it still shows that he's pretty optimistic about this game. But to be honest, making comeback against this City team at Allianz Arena, it's pretty much difficult. But you know, this is Manchester City. Manchester City being Manchester City, they have this kind of ritual to bottle anything. So that's why anything could happen. But still, if you think practically, making comeback against this Manchester City team is very difficult. And that's why for Bayern Munich now, the Bundesliga title became so important. I mean, I don't know this Bundesliga title had become this important, had hold this such importance in last 10 years. Still, it isn't easy because Dortmund is just breathing down under their knee. Anyway, now moving on to the other Champions League quarterfinal games, Real Madrid versus Chelsea, where Real Madrid thrashed Chelsea. That's not a surprising news, but still, Frank Lampard didn't expect Real Madrid to be this good. I mean, come on dude. They have won 5 Champions League in last 12 years, plus they are the defending champions. I mean, what did you expect? Are you gonna play against Southampton or what? I mean, your team looked like that. Joao Felix was pretty disappointing. Only the best player for them on the pitch was Kante, who was injured for I think almost 6 months. But still, even after recovering, he was their best player. So that tells you the whole state of Chelsea. And moving on to the other Champions League quarterfinal, AC Milan versus Napoli, and AC Milan are kind of having an upper hand against Napoli. Because against Napoli, this is their second win just within a month. And this quarterfinal as well, they are leading by 1 goal. But still, their lead is very delicate because the next leg is gonna be away at Napoli. And that's why I expect Napoli to come at full force. Plus, they will have Victor Osimhen back in their squad. And the next Champions League we had was against Inter Milan and Benfica, where Inter Milan are leading by 2-0. And kudos to Inzaghi. I mean, at the start of the season, he was under pressure. But since defeating Barcelona in Champions League, he has been on a rise. He has literally turned things around and look at him now. He's on the verge of reaching semi-final. Anyway, that's it for today guys. That's it from my side. But before leaving, I wanna know your predictions for the second leg. Let me know it all in the comments down below. And plus, if you like this video, as usual, make sure to like and share this video. Plus, subscribe the channel. And as usual, I'll meet you soon with another new video. Until that time, as you all know, just enjoy the game.